And what we already released is a intent analysis. So using AI, we are analyzing all the incoming questions through live chat, and we are grouping them into the intents. And you can see it through analytics, which is available in Tidio. And you can have this sense which questions are like most popular, which are not. So based on that, you can, on the one hand, adjust the copy, the messaging on your website to fix some obvious problem.
You're listening to E-commerce Fastlane, the podcast show to help you build, manage, grow, and scale a successful and thriving company, powered by Shopify. Listen to real conversations with partners and subject matter experts as they share proven practical strategies, platforms, and the best Shopify apps to help you accelerate your business. The time is now for you to improve efficiencies, grow revenue, profit, and lifetime customer loyalty. Please welcome your host, startup founder and strategic advisor, Steve Hutt.
Today's show is sponsored by UPS Capital, the creators of the Insure Shield app for Shopify. Now, like all entrepreneurs and marketers, you work hard for your company's reputation, but quite often there are shipping setbacks that are really outside of your control. Like think about porch piracy or packages that are damaged in transit. And shipping really has become a critical part of the customer experience, and it's essential to protect against these sorts of risks. Insure Shield shipping insurance, which is powered by UPS Capital, is the exact solution that provides full coverage to Shopify brands, no matter the carrier. So if you ship with UPS, FedEx, or USPS, these shipments are fully covered. And the distinction here is that it's not carrier liability insurance, but it's rather shipping insurance. And Insure Shield offers that sort of peace of mind that your business can recover from, I call it the inevitable shipping issues that happen on a daily basis. And the great thing is that they have an easy to use portal for fast claim payments, and you get the full value of the goods plus the transportation fees. So that's great. It's all bundled together. They even have a brand new feature called the Consumer Elected, and it can even be further personalized for your exact business needs. How it works is consumers can elect to cover their purchases at checkout, and the merchants can then make a custom rule to cover the cost if the consumer passes on that insurance offer. So if an issue happens, UPS Capital helps take the pain out of the claims with online submission and easy visibility. Now, the Insure Shield app is available now in the Shopify App Store, or you can visit them at upscapital.com/Shopify app for more information on all the available coverage options. As a reminder, Insure Shield shipping insurance is offered through UPS Capital Insurance, Inc., and they are a licensed agent. Hey there, Steve Hutt here, Success Manager from Shopify, and welcome back to the 6th season of E-commerce Fastlane. I know there's plenty of podcast choices in e-commerce, both the operations and the marketing side of the business, but just the fact that you're here today means the world to me, and I know it does for my featured guest. And new episodes are released twice weekly, and they're available from all your favorite podcast apps through Apple and Spotify and Google. We're also publishing now on Amazon Music and on YouTube. So if you check out or consume your podcast over there, you might want to go to those platforms and check it out. In today's episode, my guest is Marcin Stoll, who's the Chief Product Officer of a company called Tidio, and it's spelled Tidio. And what they are is they're a top-rated customer service platform that really helps both the small and the mid-market Shopify businesses really to grow their sales through excellent customer service. This is sure to be an excellent conversation about how you can provide excellent customer service, and I'd say even maybe turn these passive visitors that are on your site into active buyers for your brand. So it's very important. There's lots of traffic coming to a lot of websites, unknown site traffic. It's like, what are we doing to engage with these people and help push them over the edge a bit about the products and services you may have for sale? So hi, Marcin. Welcome to E-commerce Fastlane.
Hi, Steve. Thanks for having me. Excited about the conversation.
Absolutely. It's interesting. I thank you for hustling and doing the late night recording. You being overseas, me being here in Vancouver in British Columbia, our time zones are completely off. I appreciate the evening hustle to make all this work today. You really do have a phenomenal piece of software that you guys have been building for years. This came on my radar recently. One of my merchants is actually using your platform. I just thought it was quite interesting. I said, you know what? They are cross-functional and cross-domain in many different areas, many CMSs, including WordPress and others, but you have a very very unique Shopify integration and a Shopify app. I said, no, I have to have Tidio on to discuss why it is that people need to have chat and the proactiveness that's built into your platform. So let's talk on a high level first. Some people say, live chat, I've heard of it, or it's built into my CRM and I'm using it or not, but that you're unique in the market. So I'd like to understand that a little more and some of the problems that you're solving for Shopify today.
Yeah, that's a good question, because the market can be seen as crowded because there is like plenty of live chat solutions. But for us, since the early times, our goal was to provide an easy way for business to communicate with their customers, and we were focused on from the very beginning on nano entrepreneurs. Let's put it this way. And the live chat was our first mainstream product. And live chat is probably like the most convenient way to communicate, because let's agree, like nowadays, no one has the time to hang on a phone or write an emails, because it's, it's for sure a worse experience. But going back to your question, where we are focused and what's going on with Shopify brands. So I like to think about the product development, that we are focused on main two areas, and we internally call it jobs to be done. So first one is for sure providing excellent customer support for the brands, but this is kind of obvious. But another thing I like to think of is to creating and leveraging those sales opportunities. Because even if you go to the Shopify App Store and look for the reviews we are gathering from Shopify merchant, you will see that very often they claim that when they installed the live chat for the very first time, they start to having conversations, and those conversations very often leads to sales. And this is super obvious actually, but really worth to be highlighted, because since the very, very beginning of our times, the sales process are done through the relation, the communication, and through the conversation, right? And the live chat can somehow like mimic that. I think that's the fundamentals of this.
What's interesting too, I went to the App Store just as you were talking, and you're right. I mean, you have on this particular one, there's almost 1,600 4.7 star reviews. There's a lot, like 1.5, like 1,500 of them are 5-star reviews. And so it really is. And, it's interesting. And some of the comments here are, like absolute stunning support. It's an incredible app. And they start talking about exactly just revenue going up because of it. It really does open people's brands' minds about all of these unknown site visitors. Obviously, your app is triggering a live view of what it's actually going on your website, more than just maybe looking at the live things inside the admin in Shopify. This is a separate thing that understands their whole journey, how they got there. Like you're really tracking and understanding things so that when the engagement time needs to happen, there is a lot of context around, hey, wait a second, they came in from this ad organically or word of mouth or however they got here. You can see the whole flow, and you can see all the pages they've been at. Oh, and now they're engaging us, or we proactively engage with them. And so let's talk a little bit about that, about why you're intentional about wanting to show the whole history, both during that session and even other sessions. Like, what's all the benefits behind that?
Yeah, this is a good question. And this is what we understood from collaborating closely with our customers. Because from very long time, I don't even remember since when, we had a feature called Live Visitor List. And this is in real time, just showing you how many visitors are on your website. And it was like exciting, right? To have the first visitors on your website, to have this opportunity for the first sales. But then we got a feedback from some of our customers that they would like to see the full page history that has been browsed by the customer. And we asked, okay, we can do it, but what value it can bring for you? And they said, if we can see the whole journey on our website, we can understand the intent of the customer. If somebody seen the 3 or 4 times the same product, we can assume that there is intent to buy it. And when they start talking to them, and then they can, of course, proactively start this conversation. Oh, we see you are interested in this product. Do you have some questions we can help you with? And it creates this opportunity to build this personalization, because they know what the customers are looking for, and they can create the whole narration about it. But also, so this is the behavior on the website. And when we release that, we get nice feedback that this is and this is really help in creating those personalizations. But then we also understand that there is huge opportunity for brands to understand from which channel the traffic is coming to the website. Because if they run ads, they can, you have these parameters in URL, and you can track from which ads the traffic is coming to their website. So if they have like dedicated landing page for some product and they gain traffic for this from some ad to this very product, they know, okay, so this visitor came through this ad, so they know the messaging from the ad. So they have also, again, this understanding of the context of the visitor, and again, they can create this narration which is like aimed to this very visitor. So that's very powerful. Yeah.
Yeah, I love this. It's so amazing. Yeah, it's so amazing to see that. And I think that's the thing, like it's taking action. I'd even call it like zero party or first party data, because it's something you actually get to see these live interactions on the site. And then you're right, proactively decide after multiple visits of a certain product that maybe there's some interest or wonder what the blockers are as to why they're not converting. And so I'm sure there's a lot of like data points that you guys are tracking to kind of, to want to proactively like some recommendation engine around the session of a site visitor or multiple sessions of a site visitor. What's another side question that I might want to ask is that let's suppose, like we hear this a lot where, a site visitor will come to a website and let's say you have a 2% conversion rate. So 98% don't convert. And also a lot of those are still unknown site visitors also, I might add. So meaning that they've not opted into anything. So there's no discoverable, there's no way of remarketing these people other than what Google and Meta are doing, but you can't directly remarket these people. So I guess my question to you is like how does Tidio fit into the equation where, hey, 2% conversion, 98 of 100 people left, most are unknown, but if they come back again, do you realize them as the same customer? Is there some kind of a session or a unique identifier that says, hey, this is their third visit? And we don't necessarily know exclusively who they are, but we know they've been here for the third time. Like, I'm curious on that.
Yes, definitely. And this is a very popular use case. And we are using a local storage to recognize that the visit is like the third or fourth time. So as you said, we don't need to know the full name or the person who is there, but we know that the person comes back to the website. And you can create like scoring based on that. So for example, if somebody returns for a website for the second time, so we can increase score by 1 point. If they come back for the third time on the website or for particular product, you can also increase this scoring by 2 or 3 points. And then when the scoring reach, let's say 5 points, you can trigger a chatbot, which will personalize the messaging and will say something like, oh, I see you are browsing this product for the 6th time. Did you know that we today have a free delivery or stuff like that, right? So this can help you in optimizing this sales funnel, increasing the conversion.
Love it. So it's just using data plus the customer history, unknown customer history, but you don't really know them yet, but you can at least have data science kind of interact with them based on, I'm sure they have some use cases and some best practices about what other successful brands are doing in certain verticals based on arriving multiple visits and looking at multiple products and then the re-engagement sequence that you guys must trigger.
Yes, but the visitors not necessarily needs to be for the long time unknown, because what we see, and the use case is super popular, it's actually the same what you can see with pop-ups. So when you enter for the very first time on some website, there's like big pop-up which say, oh, leave your email and you can get 10% discount or something, right?
True. Yeah.
Yeah, but we all hate that because it covers the whole website and it can a little bit destroy the user experience. But this is super popular use case with our customers are using with chatbots. And it's based on the same rules. Somebody lands on your website for the very first time, the chatbot triggers and says, oh, did you know that we have 5% discount for the new visitors? And do you want one? And if they interact with the chatbot and click the button, yes, I want the discount, then the chatbot can trigger the scenario, okay, so in order to get the discount, please leave your email address.
Right.
And they are leaving email address, so it's a lead for you. Then you can, of course, ask, would you like to stay in a loop with the latest updates? If they say yes, then you have this mark as subscribed. So you are okay with the can spam regulations, and then you can start sending emails. So yeah, it also helps in lead generation.
I love that. And speaking of lead gen, SMS is obviously massively popular, and a lot of brands are either trying to collect both as best they can. Certainly the engagement is much higher on SMS because it's more instant and it's more personalized typically, and it's personal when it actually goes to your phone directly as a notification. So how have you been kind of intentional building the product about connecting to these CRMs, these SMS tools that are out there? I guess I'm thinking more on the partnership side. You do what you do well, but how do you pair nicely with existing tech that a brand may have?
So yeah, we are investing heavily with integration with the technological stack our customers has. So this is right now how we want to make this use case.
All right, perfect. And so one nice thing is, so like, let's say, for example, a brand is using Klaviyo as their email provider. They have SMS available in there too. So are you suggesting that both your tool and Klaviyo can talk to each other somehow and able to share data back and forth? Because there's going to be campaigns and flows and different things that maybe Klaviyo already has set up. The reason I'm asking this question is I'm just thinking of my book of merchants and kind of what are they currently using and what's their tech stack. If they were to add this on, we just want to make sure they're all playing nice together.
Mm-hmm. Actually, good you ask about the Klaviyo because this is the integration we released in the beginning of this year.
Okay.
And this is exactly the use case. We are trying to collect the email address of the visitor, but also the phone number and via chatbot and pass it to the Klaviyo once they subscribe on our end.
Okay.
But then you can send campaigns from Klaviyo. And if somebody unsubscribes from Klaviyo, this data is passed back to us again.
All right, got it. There's an elephant in the room right now. I'm going to talk about it. Everybody's talking about AI right now. GPT, and it's just like, it's so interesting. I just would love to have your perspective on that tool as it sits today. I know I know the API has gone down by 10x and people are using it and content production and yada, yada, yada. But I'm curious on the delivering on quote unquote, the best or excellent customer service. Is Chat GPT part of that equation or are we too early? Just curious on your feedback.
Yeah, this is like the topic we have every single day in our office. Yeah, and we get a lot of feature requests for customers to be integrated with GPT. And I think this is the future of customer service teams for sure. But current technology is not there yet. I mean, it can be helpful and it should be leveraged by the companies. And we also like integrating with the productivity solutions. So how to improve your writing, how to make you reply faster to customers, how to automate some of those repetitive questions. And this is where we use GPT and also our models because we have like ML team in place. And some customers are really regressing that is to just integrating the chat GPT as it is to the existing stores. And I would not recommend to doing this right now because it's kind of unpredictable and it can't work on autopilot yet because it has to somehow be thought. What are your internal processes? What are your politics in your store? So, for example, how many days does someone have to return the product? Or what are your shipping policy? The ChatGPT doesn't know that, like out of the box. It has to be somehow adjusted. And this will be possible really soon. But right now, I don't recommend it as it is.
Right. Today's supply chain is somewhat unreliable and shoppers are actively seeking for options to better protect the items that they buy online. Now, our show sponsor, UPS Capital, recently commissioned research which shows that 65% of consumers would be interested in the option to request coverage for specific online orders. Now, with UPS Capital's Insure Shield app for Shopify, it's a new consumer elected feature that can do exactly that. Consumers can elect to cover their purchases at checkout, and merchants can then make a custom rule to add the insurance in a rare case that the consumer passes on that insurance. This added protection will enhance the customer's trust and confidence in your business. It will improve your conversion rate and your customer experience. And you can now manage your shipping insurance preferences with the ultimate in flexibility. You can change the rules whenever you need to. You can file claims at any time. Now, the Insure Shield app is available now in the Shopify App Store, or you can visit upscapital.com/Shopify app for more information. As a reminder, Insure Shield shipping insurance is offered through UPS Capital Insurance, Inc., and they are a licensed agent. And now back to our episode. I think one advantage, maybe on a separate note, outside of the chat solution that you offer, is more for content production and creating kind of content briefs, like just doing keyword research, understanding where your brand fits in organic search, understanding the low-hanging fruit. Are there certain keywords that are important to my business, and where am I? I'm on page 2, page 3. Well, what pieces of content have I produced that gets me on page 2, page 3, which call it zero traffic? I think this is where some AI tools can come into the equation about helping create content briefs and saying, hey, we need to write more content around these keywords. But the first thing is to figure out what they are. And that's what these chat tools or these like ChatGTP and others can do. There's content at scale. There is Surfer SEO. There's a few tools out there that can certainly help them from the content production side. So it's quite interesting.
Oh, yes. Definitely. For content, it's really great. And we also somehow try to leverage this content creation, but maybe not in a way of creating the whole website with the copy. But we discovered that a lot of our customers is running their customer service on the go, and they're using our mobile app. And replying on the mobile app is not as convenient as using your keyboard on your computer. And we recently released a feature. We call it AI Response Assistant. This is using the latest GPT model, and it works this way. So, for example, customers can ask you, is my order shipped already? And you can say, yes, it's shipped, and click this icon of AI Assistant, and it will adjust the messaging to sound professional in a kind way. Like, hello, thank you for your question. Yes, we would like to tell you that the order has been already shipped and can help you more. And this is really helpful on the go, right? When you're standing on the queue somewhere and just quickly replying on the phone and adjusting the messaging with AI. So yeah, that's a good use case.
Love it. That's really good. Looks like it's adding a lot of soft skills to the reply without having to type it all. So that's perfect. I want to pivot a bit over to another topic that comes on the radar a lot with my book of merchants, and it's really around retention, loyalty, increasing lifetime value. And a lot of brands will have a dedicated kind of retention manager. How do I maximize the LTV of my existing customers? And so I'm just curious on how Tidio fits into that equation. Like, what's your mindset around it, or what does the platform do to help retention and loyalty efforts of a brand?
We hear it right now everywhere, like retention, focus on retention.
Yep.
But I think it shouldn't be treated as something new. Actually, the acquisition, the conversion, retention, CAC, LTV, the returning customers ratio, it's all in place for a very long time.
Yeah.
But I think it's the price of retention nowadays, because we have a little bit turn in economic.
Right.
But yeah, we should think about what leads to the retention, and we can put it into equation that the great customer experience for sure can fill it up.
Right.
So the first session, when you have this traffic on your website for the very first time, if you focus on conversion rate, if you focus on offering like great customer support, if you focus on timely shipping, so the customers are not waiting 2 or 3 weeks to get the product, but it's like done in timely manner, it can help. And it is not only like our product contributing to that, it's like the general rules of taking care of the customers. But when we narrow it down to how in general products can help with the retention, is again being in contact with the customers you already have in your base.
Right.
And right now we are released new product, which is email marketing automation. And right now it's in a closed beta. So we are testing it with some of our customers. And for us, this missing puzzle with communication when the visitors are not any longer on your website, right? So when they are on your website, you can have this interaction using chatbots, using live chat. And once they leave your website, you can still be in contact with them using this email marketing, for example. So you can send campaigns, you can send some campaigns for the birthday with some promotional holiday promo. So this is how you can try to boost the retention, but it's never guaranteed.
Yeah. And then once again, it comes back down to the same kind of data that you're tracking through. You'll understand when visitors do come back to the site, however they got there, like proactively, you've used your contact list, trying to re-engage people with a sequence, like, different kind of tactics you just mentioned. They eventually come back. Then your software has or understands that particular journey, the intent or the behavior or the channels, whatever it is, you're understanding a lot of that. And then these triggers can happen. Is, hey, they've already made a first purchase. Why? Because we know. And then we know that they're also looking at these now. Or you talk about this RFM, this recency frequency monetization, this RFM strategy around, well, how do we, I think that's probably kind of what you're building right now, understanding the first party data and saying, well, how do we re-engage those people, or how do we nudge them along this segment of customer? And they've shown up on the website. Now what do we do? So it's so interesting what you're building. So this is really cool. I want to talk a little bit about competitive solutions. We kind of talk a little bit about, and I think what I don't want to have happen on this show is to bundle you in and saying, hey, I already have a CRM that apparently it already has a live chat solution, if I've turned it on or not. Or some of my brands, to be quite honest with you, they have a CRM of some sort, but what they've chosen to not turn it on because they're worried about the human capital of having to man it. I think that's a challenge for some brands where we want to offer incredible customer experience. we can't turn it on because we're not sure how we're going to deal with it versus email or phone, if that's kind of how they're communicating. So I just want to have your take on that about how your solution is kind of uniquely different to the market than maybe some of the baked in or just kind of basic solutions of just live chat and a seat versus kind of what you do.
So I'm thinking about two different lines here. So one is how we are closely integrated with Shopify. And here I mean what you as a merchant business owner have in place when you are talking to your customers. So starting from order history. So if somebody lands on your website, we get the data from Shopify and we can track if the person already have some order history. So it can also help you with this personalization. We have a view to Shopify shopping cart. So when you are talking to a person, you know if there is some items in the shop cart or not. But also, we recently released the AI-based views. So every inquiry is on the chat is analyzed by our AI model. And we have few intents. So one is like product questions, another is returns, then shipping questions. And this is interesting because in e-commerce, most of the questions are around these topics. So it's returns, shipping, and products.
Right.
And how you can leverage that as a business is focus on questions that are product related. Because those customers who are asking those questions should be probably served in the first place. I mean, the first time response should be lower for those questions because those questions can really lead to sales. That's a really interesting strategy. And going back to your question about how to staff a team to serve the customer who will for sure going through the live chat, and we see it very often, is to use automations. But not to try automate everything because we cannot forget about this customer experience. On the other side of the screen, there is like real human who has some real questions, real problems, and it has to be taken really, really well. So we like to think about it. Simple questions should be automated.
Right.
Like, how can I return the product? It's simple. You have procedure for that. Let's automate it up. But if somebody is asking really specific question about the product, so for example, can I customize it? This can be somehow probably automated, like, yes, you can customize it. Here is our like creator. But those questions should be really reviewed and under control because product questions very often lead to sales. So automation for sure, but pay attention what you are automating and try not to automate 100% of your questions. Focus on those which are repetitive and those which are about sales. Try to be there for the customers and create this personalized experience.
I love it. I want to pivot to a story now because I'm always motivated. I mean, I have firsthand experience, so I kind of know this platform, but there's going to be lots of people listening today that's saying, hey, who else is using it? You have 1,600 five-star reviews, and I'd argue a lot of people don't leave reviews. You have even more customers than what's actually being shown for reviews. But I don't know if there's anybody that you can think of at the top of your head that maybe, hey, they didn't have the Tidio solution or they had a competing solution and they decided, hey, we want to turn this thing on. We want to execute with it. And then maybe we can talk about why they turned it on and then the onboarding process, like how quick was it? What do they have to do? And then if there's any kind of results that you can kind of share publicly, that would be great.
Yeah, so I'm thinking about like the recent implementation of Tidio with our customer. They are called Ad Hoc Atelier. Okay. And they are the fashion e-commerce business from Italy.
Okay.
And this is the team of 5 people, if I remember correctly. And what they do, they are selling good quality handmade products with some customization. So, for example, you can have own logo or custom initials on the product.
I see.
And and this is good quality. So it creates some questions, right? And the founding team behind the Ad Hoc Atelier, they measured that they were losing like 4 out of 5 cards on average. So this is a bit more than the industry average. Mm-hmm. And they reached to us they used actually, we have this special plan called Tidio Plus, when we can assign our customer care team and the implementation specialist to take a look in your analytics and propose some solutions. And they discovered that the biggest drop is actually because of these customizations, because some of the customers didn't exactly know how it works, how they can prepare the prototype, for example, or the design for these customizations. So what we did, we introduced a few of our chatbot templates, one for cart abandonment and another one for engagement. So we use this strategy. When somebody's checking out the product and spending some time on it, we proactively are firing the question like, do you need some help with customization? And this very often was leading to the conversation with real agent. And it helps them to reduce actually this abandonment ratio from this 80-something% to 70-ish. So yeah, quite nice improvement.
Yeah. All right. Another question I have is about the future of the product. I mean, I know you dabbled on a few things already, but are you able to talk about maybe like the public roadmap for the rest of 23 and beyond? I'm just curious about partner alignment or innovation. We talked a little bit about AI and things like that and partnerships and things, but just curious overall, if you can kind of summarize how you're going to continue to evolve the platform over the next few years.
Yeah, sure. I can share something. So our goal is not to just be customer service tool. We want to be a customer experience tool. So be on every touch point where the customers can reach the brand. So it's not only on the website, but also like social media. And we are already integrated with Facebook Messenger and Instagram. And now on our roadmap is integration with WhatsApp. So it's also like highly requested by our customers. So that can be like in the near future available for our customers. We also want to double down the partnership and the number of integrations we have. So the CRMs, but also some of our like bigger customers really need an API and webhooks. So this is something we are working on with some of our customers, like close collaboration. So also should be publicly available soon. And what is for sure like on top right now, it's the whole AI thing. And we already
I bet.
We already talked about it a bit, but we are also working on our AI chatbot, and which the main goal is to automate the number of repetitive questions in your business. And this is very often concern for some brands because they are small, like 3 to 5 person working on a business, and they are not sure if they can handle all the incoming questions, right? So as we discussed earlier, not everything should be automated, but for sure there are topics that could be automated. And what we already released is a intent analysis. So we're using AI. We are analyzing all the incoming questions through live chat, and we are grouping them into the intents. And you can see it through analytics, which is available in Tidio. And you can have this sense which questions are like most popular, which are not. So based on that, you can, on the one hand, adjust the messaging on your website to fix some obvious problem. But of course, you can enable our chatbot and deflect around 30-40% of repetitive questions. The AI chatbot is also like scraping, so learning your FAQ pages. So all the knowledge which is available on your FAQ pages can be absorbed by the chatbot. And if somebody asks the question about something what is on FAQ, the chatbot will reply. So this is really something interesting, and we are like all waiting where we can publicly show it to the broader audience. Yeah, still being in the context of AI, we want to work on those solutions that can help you look more professional and can fix the way how you sound, how you look with the texting. So text expand and text adjustment. And yeah, that's probably our goal for 2023.
This is lovely, because I was just thinking as you were chatting about it, and I wrote down a whole bunch of notes about it. I was thinking about the customer service manager, the experience manager, and it's great that you have reporting and insights, because I think that's one thing that a customer service manager is going to want to know, that's going to roll up to the founder saying, hey, the chatbot did a lot of things. Here's what they did. Having all these sessions tracked and having them organized. I just love the fact you have reporting, you have this intent analysis. I think this is all really smart, because then we can figure out about, well, how can we train the bot further? Or, I didn't like that answer. How can we fix it? And so, because at the end of the day, I think that's part of the automation problem right now is letting an AI kind of completely run the brand exclusively. And I think that's scary for some people. Whereas some of the basic kind of answers, as we already said already, there's some basic about shipping, returns, and maybe some basic product things based on, getting some FAQ. Hey, do you ship to Canada? Boom, there should be an answer to that. And the bot should be able to handle it. But if it needs to go, you need to talk to a live person now. Oh, you want it overnight to Canada? Oh, that's something different. And I'll help you with that. And so I think it's interesting that this is kind of how you're positioning it. And we have the data for a customer experience or a customer service manager to be able to action it and then roll it up to the C-suite and saying, hey, it's working well. We've proactively engaged these many people and converted. And so, this is the value of the tool. We're spending this amount of money, but, because of our human effort, because of the AI effort, it has an incremental lift of this. That's important numbers to be able to share to higher ups in a brand.
Yes, definitely. And you should track the handoff ratio. So based on that, you can see what cases are redirected to agents, what cases are automated by chatbots. And from that, you can learn, so customers are asking questions this way. So should we automate that? Or it should still go to the agent. And this is good because this leads us to better feedback to sales opportunities. Yeah, and you should observe it over time. So have this trend line and see, when we started, we have like 90% questions product related. And now when we improve the copy on our website, we introduce more instruction, we introduce more information about delivery on the website. People are not asking that many questions. So it means they are not lost. They know the information at glance on the website. So it's also a good signal. It doesn't mean that the chatbot has to answer everything. If the information is on the website and is seen at glance by the visitors, it's also good. So we need to observe the trends, and using this analytics, you can do it. So yeah.
This is lovely. All right, well, we are nearing the end of the show for today. And I know we had a little chit chat kind of in the green room before recording today. And I understand that you would like to share an offer for those listening today. Maybe you can talk about how they can get it and kind of what the next steps are.
Oh yeah, definitely. So we prepared the discount for the audience, and it's discount code FASTLINE. So whenever you go to the tidio.com and check out our product, or you go through Shopify App Store, you can use the FASTLINE code on the checkout. But also we prepared dedicated landing page. So it's www.tidio.com/FASTLINE, and you can also get all the information from there.
Beautiful. So I'll have ecommercefastlane.com/Tidio. So it's TIDIO. And that will redirect us. It's a perfect 20% off. From what I understand is kind of like the off, the order. And I think it's a really good starting point for those that are really want to kind of kick the tires a bit and kind of see like, what is this platform all about? I mean, I think you've kind of pretty much shared kind of what it can do and why. There is a free plan that, you can get conversations up to the first 50 users, I believe. And, you can actually, up to 100 visitors a month. And this is basic, but it's a good starting point. There's a free option for those. If you're in your early stage of your business, you're not on Plus, let's say, and you just want to kind of try this out, there's a free option out there to kind of dip your toes in the pool, so to speak, to kind of see if this is right for you. It sounds very clear that it is, and that just kind of like slowly scales up depending on a number of operators and a size of site and these sort of things. So I just appreciate that. Thank you so much, Marcin, for coming on the show today. I really,
thank you, Steve.
Very, very eye-opening for me. And, I always joke, but you can always tell a good episode by how many pages of notes that I've taken. And I've taken a lot of notes today. And because I always think about my book of merchants. I think about, hey, can they use this? Are they missing something? And the short answer is yes. I think more than half of the 36 brands that I manage at Shopify, more than half are not running any live chat solution at all, even though they have a CRM that may have a baked in basic chat solution. And so you can believe that on my next merchant call with a lot of these merchants, I'm going to be talking about this solution and kind of how you guys are really making a lot of impact. So, and very helpful. So I just appreciate you coming on the show today.
Yeah, thank you, Steve. It was an excellent conversation.
All right. Have yourself a great evening. All right.
Yeah, and a good day for you.
Yes, thank you. All right, take care. Well, that's it for today's episode. I'd like to thank you personally for being a loyal listener of E-commerce Fastlane. It's my hope that this podcast is offering you a ton of value through growth strategies, tactics, and exclusive insider tips on the best Shopify apps and marketing platforms, all with my personal goal to help you build, manage, grow, and scale a successful and thriving company powered by Shopify. Thanks for investing some time today and listening to the show. I'm so proud and excited that you have a growth mindset and are a constant learner. I truly appreciate you and your entrepreneurial journey. Enjoy the rest of the week and keep thriving with Shopify.